Dude, check that out on the front. It's an Indian head penny that's been shot.
You're watching JD's Variety Channel.
Today we're going to be metal detecting this house built sometime in the 1800s. The exact date is unknown. Beautiful front lawn area here, sloping down to a runoff. Got some old trees. Looks like an amazing place to metal detect. Super happy to get permission at this one. And can't wait to see what's going to come out of the ground. So without further ado, let's get to digging. Okay, so I'm starting by the front of the house in between the big trees here. And after about a minute, I locked onto a really good signal to start. Coming up like 82, 83, 84. Kind of sounds like an old penny, but you never know if it could be an old worn silver. We're gonna go ahead and do it live. Hopefully there's not too many tree roots right here. Not too bad. Just a lot of fine roots right in this section. All right, moment of truth. See if we're under a good property here. I have a good feeling about this place. Soil looks good. Doesn't seem like fill in this area. All right. I got my hand shovel too. I set it by that tree. So we will use that once we get down into the hole. Make it easier. Man, it's going to be windy. All right. I'm going to widen this a little bit just in case it's good. We don't want to scratch it. It's kind of on that back end there. This should be right down here. Yep. Just about touching it there. Should be in this little flick. There it is. It's a coin. Looks like it's going to be an old, that's got to be a wheat penny. 1956, first coin. Had a feeling it was going to be old because of the, didn't ring up close to the surface, was showing depth on it. That sunk a good 4 inches, so looks like the old stuff will be pretty deep here. If that's from the 1950s. We'll take it. Awesome first find. Now I know there's going to be more here. On to the next. I dug that first wheat penny about right where my finger is there, and I dug a piece of wire after that was shallow. Got another nice coin signal here. Try and block the wind. Nice signal. Bouncing high 70s, low 80s. Could be an old, really old penny. Try it live. Seems about that, like the depth is about the same as the other one. More roots naturally. Alright, got this one dead center this time. Oh, we got it. It's a penny. That one, it's not a wheat, it's just a memorial. And 1980 on that one. Shows us there's coins here. I probably only live dig the really good signals, so we don't do too many of the modern ones. Do the high silver signals and maybe the solid low tones, stuff like that. But all right, it's another coin. It is windy out here right now, so I'm up by the front steps, and a minute ago, down by that other signal, my fourth target was this just a shell casing, little piece of it. And I got a signal up by the steps here, target number 5. About 3 inches down, it looks like we got another penny. And this one, can't see the memorial on the back. It looks like it's going to be a wheatie. I'm going to clean it up, we'll see the date. Alright, well it looks like on the old ones we'll have to clean them up after the fact because they have a thick layer of crud on them. It's very adhered to the coin, but anyway, I can tell that it's got to be one of the older Wheaties. It's got a kind of low relief on it, very worn, probably close to 100 years old right there. Sweet, like in this spot. Surprise, surprise, I called that one. This penny is 100 years old on the button. You can see it's very faint, but it's a 1918 and it also has a Denver mint mark. So happy to have that one, and back to the hunt. Okay, the wind seems to start as soon as I turn the camera on. I got 3 targets. I got this, I got a pull tab, and I got a strip of just like junk modern aluminum. I got a signal very, very, very deep here. I went down about 10 inches and I pulled this out. I thought it was going to be a bracelet for a second, but it doesn't look like it is. It's a piece of copper. I'm not sure if that's just a ring to the inside of some sort of lid maybe, but maybe not, because it's got a pattern on it. There was a root growing through it I had to chop, but we'll check it out later. It's copper anyway, and it was deep, so it's got to be old. Well, I'm in the center of the front yard now, kind of in between the old trees here yet, and there definitely something happened to the ground. They at least filled in some of this area here. I'm not sure if they pulled out some trees in the past. You can see a runoff goes through here, so this would be very damp a lot of the time. And I had a faint signal down here that I thought was going to be potentially like a deep coin. I thought it might be iron, but I hit a plastic bag, or just some sort of plastic cover, and old bricks all through here, and then this like sand layer. So I think they filled something in here. I'm not sure what, but we're gonna patch that back up and try a different section. Okay, next few targets other than one huge chunk of aluminum. I got that odd piece right there. I got one of them little lead ends of a roofing nail, an old one, and what looks to be the end of potentially an old measuring spoon. It does look like it said spoon on the end of it at one point. But something like that anyway. Okay, I got a signal that seemed like it was about 3 inches down, was in the nickel range, sounded pretty good. So we're gonna finish it live. I'm gonna widen that just a little bit. It's a nice soft soil here. Hopefully it's, oh, there it is. It is an old style pull tab, complete with the beaver tail. On to the next. I got another nice deep nickel signal that is down about 4 inches. We'll finish this one live as well, just in case. Just been digging some trash over the last 10 minutes. There's not a whole lot of targets here, but there's got to be some more oldies down here for sure. It's an old place. Oh, it is an old nickel. See it here on my finger? Looks like it. Ooh, that's slick. Come on, be a V nickel. Please. It's a buffalo. We'll take that. Awesome. That was deep. Alright. Well, I'm not going to try to clean it off too much now. Hopefully there's a date on it. Let's see if it's got the... Let's see if at least if the reverse has the raised mound or not. Doesn't look like it is flat, so it's 1914 to 1938, somewhere in that range. Sweet. Alright, so I cleaned up the buffalo nickel, and it's really faint and hard to see. It's a little bit easier when it's wet, but it appears to be a 1923. So a nice old buffalo nickel there. So over the last little bit, I managed to find 2 modern dimes that weren't very deep, and that piece right there that was about 10 inches down took me quite a while to get out under some roots. So we're still plugging away. On we go. All right, I'm still working on grid in the front yard. You can see the runoff runs down through here and up along there. And it looks like to that property, there's like they have like an old spring house down sitting in there, which is pretty cool. Obviously, tons of trash pulled down in this section toward the water, and also very wet. We've had a lot of rain. I'm not going to do this one live, but I managed to locate a semi-deep signal that's ringing right around 7980. Probably about 4 inches down. Could be an old penny. I'm going to dig it up. We'll see what it is. Okay, I'm almost down at it, so we're going to finish it live. Right there. It's actually in this softer soil, so it may not be super old, but if it's a penny, hopefully it's at least a Wheatie. Now I see it down there on the bottom. It does look like a coin. It is a wheat penny. You can see that staring at you. This one looks very corroded, probably been wet for a long time. That is very green. Should be able to see the date on this one. Yeah, that's an old greenie. I can't see the last digit, but it's 1920 something, maybe 1928, could be 1920 on the button. I'll have to clean up more later, but yep, almost 100 years on that one. Sweet. Check out this amazing abandoned house across the street. It's pretty overgrown. I'd love to metal detect that place. But anyway, just to show you here down by this runoff, there's definitely a lot of fill dirt in the bottom of this yard. Had another faint signal deep, and it's all sand and brick. This has all been filled in down here. So, doesn't look like there's going to be anything old down this far, but we'll keep working in the original patches, and maybe we'll pull something else out. I haven't even tried the back. They built a new addition on it, but it's pretty, got a lot of grass out until the back alley, so might be something in the back too. Well, I already filled the hole back in most of the way, but I went like 10 inches down, close to a foot, and that scared me there a second. I don't know what it is, just some kind of huge brass disc or something. I'll have to clean up, see if there's anything on it later, but I don't think there is. That had me going. I also wanted to show this really quick because it's really strange. When I saw that in the hole, I had my heart going for a second, but I don't know if it's some kind of alloy, like mixed alloy, but it definitely has lead in it. It's not super heavy. You would think being this large, even though it's thin, it would weigh a little bit more if it was lead, but it's not super light like aluminum. And you can see how underneath there, that little cut on the side, it is lead underneath, or at least partially lead. So I don't know. It's really strange. Have no idea what it was to or used for. But anyway, if somebody knows what this at least partially lead disc is, please let me know. Never dug anything quite like that. Well, there's a nice old relic, and it was only about 1.5 inches down. Normally these things are pretty deep, but an old iron horse tack ring. That's probably over 100 years old there. Sweet. Okay, I'm working a nickel tone that's right off the side of this massive root here, right by the tree, getting close to that spring house down there. And I'm down at it. You can hear it with the pinpointer. Since it's about 3 inches down right by this root, it may not be modern trash, but we will find out. Oh, or it is. That is it right there. Oh, no, wait a second. Oh, I thought it was just foil. It's, that mosquito off me. Looks like an old tube. That's a lid there. It says something on it. So it's at least old trash. Definitely an old tube. Probably some kind of cream or toothpaste, who knows. Some kind of old product. So their backyard's pretty big. It goes from quite a bit of ways behind me up to about where those vehicles are parked over there. It ends somewhere right there. But in behind the old barn here. And man, they got all kind of stuff back here. I started digging pieces of aluminum and big junk targets all over the place. But all kinds of old stuff down here. It's like an old space heater or something. Tires back in there, old lawn equipment, you name it. But here we go. I'm not going to dig around here. I found Chewy's grave. So sad. Alright, let's head over to this portion. Okay, so I've been going for the high signals and digging out within maybe like a 5-yard, 6-yard radius of the barn, trying to find interesting stuff. Just pulled a whole bunch of crap so far, and something that may clean up to be interesting. Gave a blasting signal, about as high as the signal as you can get. It's definitely aluminum. It's some sort of tag or something like that. Some sort of plate that was mounted onto something. You can see the hole here. There's probably another little hole on the top. So I'll be curious to clean that up and see what it is. It says something League on it, L-E-A-G-U-E. So I don't know. That might make a cool display piece. We'll see what it is. Alrighty, so here's one for you guys to research. I did a quick Google search just in preparation for this video and didn't see anything right away. Wanted to get the video up, so didn't do any in-depth research. So I'll leave that up to you all. Let me know how old this is. It says Citizens Road League of Virginia, Travelers Building, Richmond, VA. Now I found this in the southern portion of West Virginia, so how it got up there I'm not certain, but I wonder if this sort of league or club, whatever you want to call it, was something similar to maybe like AAA back in the day. I have no idea. There's nothing on the back of it. It was obviously intended to be mounted. I'm not sure if on your vehicle or maybe it was more of an advertising thing. I'm not certain. So really cool relic anyway. Glad I dug this one up. So back to the video. Alright. Alright, so I searched around to the left of the barn there, up and down. Didn't find too much of it other than trash and that interesting tag type thing. Been working in the tall grass down here. Haven't found too much. Gonna try to get permission from the neighbor someday, not today. He has his lawn cut real nice. This grass is real high out in this field. I just kept working around and around, nothing much for the last half hour. Did a few more passes in the front yard. Just got like the end of a pencil and some other small trash bits down to the small targets. And right here, had a weird signal I had a hard time pinpointing, and up against the side of this root about 2 inches down, looks like I got an old penny. And I was gonna say it was hit by the lawnmower, but check that out. It's been a long time since I found one of these. It's only my second or third one, but it's a penny that's been shot. You can see it connected with that real good there. Now, hopefully this is a wheat penny. You know what? Dude, check that out on the front. It's an Indian head penny that's been shot. That's crazy. You can see right where I wiped it. That's the nose right there. You can kind of see the date. It looks like it's 1907. That's a first for me. Looks like a shot Indian head penny. Let me check with my digger right here. No, it doesn't look like there's any of the... That would have been awesome if the bullet was still down in there. But I'll check around the hole, but sweet. A shot Indian head. Really crappy signal hiding down like on the side of this root. Literally, it was pressed down on the side like that. But we got her out. Sweet. So I just found this odd piece here that kind of rang up like an Indian head penny. Not quite sure exactly what that is. Almost looks like a cufflink, but that'd be a pretty crude cufflink. So probably not on that, but you can see in the yard here how there's a depression here, a small one there. I found that Indian head kind of right in here. That's pretty small, so I'm assuming there would have been a big original barn. I don't know if it was right here. You can kind of tell. There's depressions all through this yard, and there's also an area up at the top where they used as a garden for a while too. You can see the awesome church up on top of the hill there. So I assume back in the day there was a lot more outbuildings back here, and hard to tell, but a lot of iron on this property, as you would assume, and a lot of old trash as you get like kind of up that way, as I said. But worked it really hard up here in the front the most, trying to find all the coins and things like that. Hey, you can see my shadow. But we're about to pack it in. I've been working this hard for the last 3 hours or so. And it's really thin, just looking for tiny little targets. But kind of working around in here where I found that Indian, thinking I may pull out one more good thing. So we'll give it 5 more minutes and we're about to hit the road. So one of the reasons I stopped here, not only is the lot big, so I was looking at this area from the road driving by. I saw this big open area, the old trees, and I saw the foundation and the shape of the house and knew it was an old one. You can see at some point they added on the front porch here, which is cinder block. They probably did that maybe around when they did the addition in the back. So that's probably about 50 years old-ish. But then you can see all the original stone here from the 1800s. So I saw this and I saw the old chimney and I said, yep, that is where we want to metal detect. So I didn't do too bad. I honestly thought there was going to be more here as far as like coins and tokens and stuff like that. I didn't find anything really extraordinarily fascinating outside the realm of a few old coins. But who knows? Maybe somebody had searched here in the past. I'm not sure how long the people that own this have lived here. But they didn't mention that while that they've owned it that anybody else has been here. But like I said, a lot of work to this ground over the years. And I'm happy to find what I have been. That shot Indian head is awesome. You can tell I'm down to slim pickings in the main part of this yard. I got down there quite a bit. Had a little bit of a squeak, but yeah, it's just really faint, choppy signal. It's an old original square nail. That's pretty cool. Actually, I like that. I like these old square nails. That could potentially be the oldest find of the day. That's a nice one too. I'll keep that one. Managed to find a good target that I missed. Rang in a little choppy, but got down to it there. Still working the slope in the front for about the 10th time. And we got ourselves an old umbrella slide. That's pretty cool. This is the part that you would push up and the umbrella would go. Well, I'm a bit bummed out right now. I lost that Indian head penny. I was going to show it to the homeowners. I showed them the other stuff and I couldn't find it. I'm going to show you what I think happened. I put it in this side pouch here and I probably didn't make sure it was down in there real good. It was probably sitting on the end, and then as I was walking around it probably flipped out. I checked for about 5 to 10 minutes with my detector around where I dug it and kind of in the pattern I went after that, but I couldn't find it. So lost and found and lost again, and maybe if I come back here someday after they cut the grass, maybe I'll find it. But yep, it would take me probably an hour. Who knows, I may not even find it because I walked the whole way back to the car, up to the back of their house. It could be anywhere. So that one's lost for today. It's a bummer because that was the best coin, but hey, things happen. I'll just know not to make that mistake again. So there's the bag of trash and a few relic bits mixed in there. I didn't go through it yet, but almost 2 pounds worth, and that's actually pretty mild compared to around most farmhouses. But yep, when you search the older properties like that, you got to dig a lot of old farm trash to get into the goodies. But hey, it's part of the game. Alright guys, I just wanted to do a quick rundown of all the finds. Also, I checked for about 20 minutes. I was never able to find the Indian head penny. It's a pretty large property and the grass is really high in most of the areas, and at one point I walked to get my large shovel and then come back, and that was like around the barn. So if I lost it around there, it'd be like a needle in the haystack with all the junk metal and scrap around there. But anyway, I looked for about 20 minutes around from where I dug it and kind of the patterns I went after that. Wasn't able to find it, so the ground reclaimed that one. If I go back there in the future, I may be able to find it and dig some other stuff too. The ladies that lived there were extremely nice and they said I was welcome back, so could possibly do that sometime after they get the grass cut and look for more relics kind of out in the field on the side of the house. I focused on the front lawn and a little bit on the side, like looking for old coins and relics and stuff like that, and not digging through all the barn scrap. I'm sure there's more old coins on the property. It's just, like I said, a needle in a haystack. But anyway, a few of the things I wanted to highlight, those are just the modern coins that I dug. That was all I found on the property. That did appear to be a cufflink cleaned up. It's like gold plated, pretty clunky looking. Got that umbrella slide, couple bits there. The old pennies ended up, the one was 1918D you saw in the video. This crusty green one turned out to be a 1928. Then we have the 1956. We got the 1923 Buffalo nickel. Piece of that measuring spoon. I wanted to show this one because it's kind of odd. It's like a brass threaded screw or something in there, but it's coated. It has a big hunk of lead wrapped around it on the outside, so that's a very odd piece. Have no idea what that would have came off of because it's, you know, brass wrapped with lead. Very strange. If anybody knows, please comment. Just wanted to show this just because it was an interesting bottle cap I found. It says Frankfurt Distillers, Louisville. So that one's probably 50, 60 years old on that bottle cap there. And then of course we got that awesome plaque or tag, whatever you want to call it. So that was my hunt. I hope you guys all enjoyed. More videos to come, and I'll see you soon.